INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Want the chance to learn about new careers? Join us this weekend on INCRadio San Francisco, California for our Career Expo. The broadcast will be 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Saturday, February 3rd. Leave us your greetings in the live chat. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone tuning in to INCRadio San Francisco, California. My name is Sister Sophia, coming to you all from the San Francisco Bay Area, where today we are having our Career Expo broadcast. And so we have a few panelists on air to join us as well. If I could go ahead and first send it over to my co-host to go ahead and introduce himself. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. For those of you that don't remember me or who don't know me, I'm Brother Vince from the locale of San Ramon. I am here co-hosting with Sophia today to talk about a very, very special topic. But before we talk about that topic, we're actually going to go ahead and talk to our panelists. Funny thing, just a little fun fact, our panelists have the letter V in their names, same as me. So I'm very excited.
It's true. A lot of V's in our panel listening today. All right, if we can go ahead and pass it to our sister who's joining us to go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Bianca from the local congregation of Concord.
Awesome. And last but not least.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. I'm Brother Victor from the locale of Mountain View.
Awesome. And thank you so much to everyone for joining us. We're excited to hear your career experience and tips and, all the fun insight you have to share with us on our broadcast today. So, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, please keep on sending over your shout outs, your greetings into our live chat. Go ahead and keep sharing the link with your friends and loved ones, and maybe even share with us any interests you have within your career or any career tips that you also would like to share with us. Before we go ahead and hop into our discussion, we're going to go ahead and take a quick station break. So if our Clea Tech could take it away and show us some of the other promos happening in INCRadio.
You are listening to Iglesia ni Cristo Radio, the voice of truth.
Are you ready to be part of an unprecedented, once-in-a-lifetime, and never-before-seen event that is sure to etch its mark in history? Witness and relive real-life accounts and chronicles of faith through a majestic parade of photographs. Watch and enjoy real-life and poignant stories narrated through music and melody in our INCRadio. Meet the best of INCRadio who are committed in changing lives through God's words. This February 10, 2024, in celebration of the 55th anniversary of SEBC Incorporated and INCRadio DZEM 954, we cordially invite you to the INCRadio, the INCRadio Photo Exhibit, Musical and Awards 2024. You are guaranteed an experience beyond compare.
What's next after the big day? Does everything remain sweet, or sometimes it could become bitter too? Let's hear from newlywed couples the changes they experienced after getting married and learn based from their life realizations as husband and wife. Join us this Sunday, February 4, 2024 at 9 p.m. China Standard Time and Philippine Time as INCRadio Macau Satellite Studio brings you a topic close to the heart. See you there!
In our upcoming episode of INC Radio Italy North Satellite Studio,
we will be talking about having a strong and healthy marriage.
What are some of the things you do to strengthen the relationship
between you and your significant other.
Conjoin and share your thoughts with us Sunday, February 4 at 6 p.m. Central European Time, Monday, February 5 at 1 a.m. Philippine Time.
Do not miss any of our programs. Subscribe to INC Radio DZEM 954 official YouTube channel.
We are back on INC Radio, San Francisco, California. So before we hop into our discussion with our awesome panelists who have joined us today, we do have a couple of shout outs that we'll go ahead and read over in our live chat. So first from Brother Roel David, he says, hello, INC Radio. We have Brother Walton Flores. Good morning, Paul, from the locale of Milpitas. We also have Stefan Honrade with us. He says, hello, everyone, tuning in from the District of Los Angeles County, California, locale of Santa Clarita. And he says, happy viewing, Paul. We also have Sister Melanie Fortes. Good morning, INC Radio San Francisco, tuning in from the locale of San Ramon. Greetings to all our panelists this morning. We have another from San Ramon, Caleb Planas, who says, hello, Paul, from San Ramon. Brother Darwin Lee, greetings, everyone, from the local congregation of Burlingame. And we also have Sister Chelsea Batista. Hello, everyone. Greetings from the District of New Jersey. Thank you so much for tuning in. And of course, if you're on the live chat, keep on sending over your shout outs and greetings. All right, so back to our discussion. Brother Vince, I'm excited for our talk today because I feel like we'll be learning a lot from our panelists about careers and about work and about, the mindset to have in work. Yeah, it should be fun.
I'm very excited too. I'm very, very excited. I'd like to hear a lot about what their careers are.
Totally. So the perfect segue to the first question. Could you guys tell us about what type of work that you do? Maybe your title or, what field you're in. Who'd like to go first? Yeah, go for it, Sister Bianca.
Victor is making a face. Long story or short story?
Both. We got time.
We got time. Not a lot of time, but we got time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very short. I'm a product development manager, which means that I'm a chemist. So what I tell people when they ask me what I do is if you look on the back of any shampoo bottle, body moisturizer, serum, sunscreen, there's an ingredient list there. I'm in charge of knowing what every single function of every single ingredient is, but I'm also in charge of developing, formulating, and seeing that product through to the shelf, Target, Sephora, Ulta, all of the above.
Awesome, man. That's so cool, Sister Bianca. And it's awesome because it's a lot of science background, which I love talking about. And, I'm so excited to hear more about what you do in your day to day. How about you, Brother Victor? How would you describe your work that you do?
So my title is BIM modeler. So I work in the construction industry with engineers. The firm I work with specializes in seismic, and my specific job is basically to process all the paperwork that the engineer gives me, and then I create reports that would eventually go back to the customer.
Oh man, a lot of writing. It sounds like almost being detailed too. That's exciting though, and we'll totally get more into your day-to-day too. How about for you, Brother Vince? I'm gonna be asking us too what our careers, if you were to describe the type of work you go into.
So I am an accountant. Enough said. But in all seriousness, so what I do is I basically handle a lot of the financials within business, whether it is related to their financial statements or related to their tax documents. Speaking of which, for our viewers out there, don't forget to make an appointment for your tax. I know all of you got your W-2s and your 1099s. Go ahead and start doing it now. Don't wait until April 15th. Go ahead and do it now, so that way you don't have to worry about it later. That's just my little spiel, my little public service announcement. So don't forget to do your taxes. But yeah, that's what I do. I'm an accountant.
Awesome. And now we all know if we have questions about our taxes, we go to Brother Vince first and he'll guide us and show us what to do with those. Awesome. For me, just to share too, I'm a receptionist at the moment in South San Francisco at a biotech company. And actually really enjoy my job because as the one who's kind of the office coordinator, I get to know everyone in the office and I kind of am like the helping hand in all sorts of random tasks in the day to day. So cool. Excited to hear more about, what you all do. When it comes to your day to day task, though, what do your days usually look like? And are you all working from home, remote, hybrid, in office all the time? What do your day to days usually look like? You'd like to go first for
I
this
guess
one?
our
Oh, yeah,
day
go for it.
I mean, it varies every day. So currently, I'm in the office 4 times a week, and then I'm on site or I'm from home 2 to 3 times a week. So what that means is, like, for example, this week I was in Hayward and San Leandro. I was doing lab visits, meeting the chemists, seeing what they're up to. And then other times I'm on the field, so I'm educating Ulta, Sephora. Sometimes I'm in the lab. So every single day it's different. But on a day to day basis, I'm playing with makeup, skincare, researching, reading all of the magazine articles, reading my own reviews of my own formulas, just seeing my stuff out there, working with project management, packaging, engineers, graphic design, creative, marketing, kind of all of the above.
Cool. That's super
That
cool.
is
And
really interesting.
yeah, agreed. And I love how there's like a variety to what your day to day looks like too, and just the different groups that you get to work with as well. How about for you, Brother Victor?
For me, my day usually starts with me going to the office, checking all my email. Typically, we get requests from customers, uh, various tasks from generating a report, or um, I'm also in charge of like viewing work from other departments that is related to our project. So I would process it, create a response that would go to our engineers, and then if they approve it, it would go back to me again. Then my day would be uh, usually juggling around all those tasks, what's prioritized by time, and then I would generate the final reports that would be checked by my engineer, and then it'll go to the final engineer at the end of the day, which will in turn go back to the customer.
Awesome, super cool. How about for you, Vince? Are you working from home fully or is it in office as
Yes, I
well?
do work from home. I do work from home remotely. So currently, there's okay. I need to explain this because a lot of people think, oh, accounting. So you just define it. No, there's different tasks for an accountant. So I'm accounts payable. I handle a lot of the expenses. So data. I love how Victor's just like, yeah, yeah. But yeah, there's a whole lot when it comes to accounting, and it's not just crunching numbers, but for my day to day, every morning I wake up, sit here, because my computer's right here. So I would just log in, immediately start going through all of my emails as quick as possible because they do pile up, especially when it comes to accounts payable. There's a lot of companies that we have that send us invoices. And what invoices are basically bills that need to get paid. So what I need to do is I need to record them in a system early in the morning, so that way they're already there. I don't have to worry about it in the afternoon. And then I would just immediately go checking on reports. So reports related to expenses. So expense reports such as from other employees, they would send it to me. I would review them. After I reviewed those, I would enter it in the system as well. So a lot of data entry, but at the same time, a lot of reviewing when it comes to accounts payable. When it's a payday, that's usually like around the middle of the week. I'm not going to say what day. That's confidential. Um, but around payday, however, that's when I start doing a lot of reporting, which is related to AP aging. And what AP aging is basically report like expense and invoices that are due on that day, or like that are due within the next week. I would have to pay it on that day. So I would do stuff like paying it in the bank or writing a check to the company and sending it stuff like that. So I don't actually do checks anymore, considering I'm a remote. So I just actually just do a bank transfer. So it just transfers. So ACH, for those of you that don't know what that means. So ACH and wire, those are the ones I usually do. So yeah.
Oh man. So even as a receptionist, I'm contacting y'all a lot when it comes to the type of work that you're doing. Interesting. And I think hopefully too for any of our young viewers who are watching these kind of this variety of careers that you can enter when you're in the workforce can hopefully give some inspiration or even straight questions that they might want to approach you all to ask. Have you all had any careers in the past that maybe are different from what you're doing now, but have kind of helped you to where you are today? For example, I actually used to work as a substitute teacher a long time ago, and I'm not in teaching or education anymore, but a lot of the skills that I had there, like being organized, communicating clearly with, students at the time, but also parents and staff, learning those communication skills, those all kind of helped me out to where I am today. But how about for you all? Do you have any past experiences that you're now using as well?
Well, I started off in fragrance and home care. So I was working on candles, what else? Laundry detergent, scent bead boosters. Fun fact, I'm very close with someone who created the scent bead boosters, and she actually has a patent for it. Yeah, so shout out at the Jill. She's from the local congregation of Central New Jersey. That's cool, right? That's like one of the
That's super cool. Oh man.
happening is I got a lot of smell training from that job, which ended up making me better at quality control and formulation. So if there's something wrong with malodor, or it's like the formula smells strange, or they want it to smell a little bit more powdery or lavender, or whatever the case may be, I'm able to kind of detect that. And that kind of happened by accident. I didn't think I was going to get into fragrance, but I think that's pretty cool. Also working in a contract manufacturer. So what a contract manufacturer is brands come to you and say like, hey, can you formulate this for us? We don't have scale up capabilities and we don't have chemists. So I was a chemist there. And now that I work with contract manufacturing on the brand side, it kind of helped me understand like what the chemist goes through. So a lot of the times we get priorities that's like, we need this tomorrow. But I'm like, hold on. Like the chemist has like a million different things on their plate. Let's give them 2 weeks. So I think that like being on the both ends of the spectrum kind of helped me navigate my working relationships a lot better, because some people like their only brand side, so they don't really know what goes on like on the bench, on the lab bench. So that really helped me also.
Totally, because especially even with the beauty or any type of like, product they use in the house, it has to go through so many different things in such a process to really, be a product that people can buy. That's really interesting. And, smell training, I love that phrase too, Sister Bianca. Like that's such a unique skill, but it makes sense that that's something you would really need in the type of work you would do. Vince, you were totally nodding in response earlier. What were you going to say as well?
Oh, okay. So I didn't really believe it. I can't believe there's actually this thing called smell training. That's actually really cool. Like that's all. I was just like, wow, really? That's actually really cool.
Oh yeah.
Like,
There's a so people who make fragrances and stuff, they're called perfumers, and their smell training is like absolutely insane. Like they go to training school, like there's a school for it. So like they have to have like a nose that can detect, like even like you smell a whole bunch of different orange oils, they can detect like different notes from it. Like this one's a bit fresher, this one's a bit more limey or lemony. Like their noses are insane. So yeah, there's a school for that too. People don't know that. There's a fragrance school. Yeah.
I can't do that. My nose is always stuffy, so I can't do that. Allergies, man. It's just so bad. Can't do that. That is actually a very very cool skill that you have.
Yeah, and
Actually,
it
I'm
kind
curious though.
of. Oh, yeah.
What kind of skills do you have, Victor, in terms of your job?
So, oddly enough, my background is not in engineering, it's actually in automotives. But what I did was I took a lot of classes related to engineering on the side as I took my automotives classes. And thanks to a brother, um, he was asking me one day, "Hey, do you know anyone that knows AutoCAD, which is a drafting program for like drawing, house blueprints and whatnot?" And coincidentally, that was one of the skills I learned, and that's how I was able to get my current job. Um, Other than that, my past careers that helped me would be like working in retail. I speak with many different kinds of people, so I'm able to tolerate a lot of different kinds of customers. Some reasonable, some less reasonable, and then working in warehouse at one point. It helps me know the back end of my company because we also do fabrication for our customers. So we will fabricate whatever I generate in the report, and then we send it to fabrication. They would generate the item, and then it would go back to us for checking. So those kinds of past careers sort of connected and helped me in my current position right now.
Okay, that is very cool. So the fact that you had knowledge in software actually helped you find your job. That's actually very, very cool. It's like, oh, I have knowledge in this video game, helps me go into it helps me go into this. That's actually very, very cool. Thank you for sharing that. Actually, it kind of reminds the fact that you're in retail kind of reminds me of like my experiences in terms of before I became an accountant. So for context, this is a little shout out to my uncle and also my aunt. Shout out to them because they have a restaurant, and that was one of my first jobs. They helped me out, so I've also dealt with a lot of very interesting customers, some reasonable, some not reasonable. But that actually helped me out in terms of this job right now, because even though for accountants, even though it's we are crunching numbers most of the time, we also have to deal with a lot of vendors and a lot of customers, and that means a lot of people. So we have to talk to a lot of people. Sometimes talking to a lot of people can be a little bit stressful, some because they're asking questions and you have to answer those questions. You may have questions for them that they probably can't answer. And so being able to be in a fast-paced environment kind of what's the word, crash course me into into learning communication. So my background in working at a restaurant, I was both a waiter, a cook, a how many other things did how many other things was I forgot what it's called, but it's the person that reads the orders. Forgot what it's called. But a lot of those times, it's going back and forth with the cooks, with the customer, with the waiter too, just talking to a lot of people. I feel like being in that environment actually helped me out in accounting, because now I'm able to do the exact same thing in a much slower pace, but I'm able to manage it better. So it helped me manage a lot of what I do today. So for those of you that are working in a restaurant or working in a fast food chain restaurant or something or other, don't think that that's where you're just going to end up. A lot of the skills that you learn there is actually going to help you in a lot of other jobs as well. So it's a great starting point, in my opinion. What do you think, Sister Sophia?
Yeah, and I love the way you describe starting point, because I think that's something that we kind of all need to understand. Like, oh, everyone has a starting point, and where you start isn't necessarily where you'll be in like 10, 15, 20 years down the line, right? But you never know how those skills will really help you out. So the question I have for you both now too, it seems like there were different opportunities that kind of led you to where you are now. So when it came to like maybe the opportunities, those you networked with, a little bit more about your own stories. How did those opportunities help you to where you are today? Um, I know Sister Bianca, because we talked about this before the show, so I'm kind of trying to probe you with that one too. But do you have any, specific maybe moments you networked or advice that you'd like to give the younger ones watching because of your own background as well?
Okay. In one sentence, and my friends are gonna laugh at me. Attend your Kadua meetings, because I was originally a nursing major, and then the same ate that I talked about, her, and another ate and another kuya like spoke about their careers. One was a chemist or a scientist. The other one was a teacher. She taught English in high school, and then the other one was an accountant. And they were just talking to us about their careers, how they got there. And I'm like, wait, that's a career? Like being a chemist in the personal care industry, like the way she started it off was like, I make things. And I'm like, what do you mean you make things? At that time I was just like, oh, well, like with makeup, you could be a makeup artist, but I didn't think about like, oh, how do you make it? So that was kind of my inspiration. And I talked to my parents and they were so supportive of like, I think I want to make a shift because I loved it already. I consumed like the YouTube videos, all of that stuff on a regular basis. So I was like, why don't I shift? Because I'm also a hands-on learner. So like studying all day long, reading all day long, I couldn't do it. Like I needed to do it with my hands, right? So I was like, oh. So yeah, that was actually my inspiration, which is pretty cool.
Cool. That's really awesome. And I love that because it's true. A lot of the time you get opportunities. Even my job, actually, shout out to Sister Desiree. She helped me to get my position that I'm currently at. So yeah, attend your Kadeo meetings, talk to those who might be in work that you want to be able to be involved with as well. So that, you can be able to find those next opportunities. But yeah, for you as well, Brother Victor, were there any opportunities you were able to take advantage of to get to your next career?
Um, yeah, I would say so. Like I mentioned earlier, the extra classes I took in relation to my original background, those really help. So like I said, my background is automotives, but all the side classes I took drafting, I took welding, I took fabrication, just so that way I have an idea. My advice is don't just take classes related to your major. Take supplementary classes that would support what you do, like taking a basic Excel course, for instance, or maybe a word processing class. That'll give you an edge towards, against other candidates for the same job you're applying for. So you never know what extra classes will find itself in your job useful. So like you want to be able to take as much classes and as uh, much of a variety as possible. So that way you get as much trying to look for that term, not edge, but like
Experience, kind of.
a
Like,
push forward.
yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Brother Victor, and Sister Bianca. Brother Vince, do you have any final words? It's so close to wrapping up the show, but I love these kind of discussions and seeing how you all were
Uh,
able to get where you're
a
at.
lot of what the our two panelists have said is really really important when it comes to getting an edge on what you want to do, whether it's changing your career or whether it's getting an edge up on what you're already doing. But a little tip I'd like to give before we end the show is yes, go attend your Kadua meeting because you will find people who have jobs that you probably didn't even realize were jobs. But at the same time, utilize things like this, like INCRadio. There's a whole, but this isn't the first time we've done a career expo. This isn't the first time that we've done this. There are multiple episodes from other different shows that have done this, where people talk about their jobs and people talk about how they got there. Utilize that, use that, so that way you can figure out what you want to do. In terms of my experience, I would say, just like what Brother Victor said, take classes on the most basic kind of skills that you can think of. Excel, PowerPoint. There's a class for PowerPoint. I know there is. Like, PowerPoint, Google, all of these, like, documents, like all of these necessary skills that you need, because you may not know. You may be very, very good at it. If you're artistic, go for it. Use all of the tools that you have. In my personal experience, the way I got this job, the reason they took me was because I actually showed them INCRadio and how well I talk on radio. And so they said you'd be perfect for the job because you're very, very personable. And so they took me in. And so that's actually one of the reasons why I even got this job in the first place. So yeah, that's what I'd like to recommend to all of you. Don't think any of the skills that you have are not worthy of what the job that you want, because those skills will actually help you push forward. You just have to find a way to make it put you push forward. So that's all I have to say. But before we end the show, I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot of comments here that we like to shout out before we end the show. So Sister Sophia, if you want to look at those
Yeah, for
comments.
sure. Yeah, we have a couple more coming in from Sister Karen Seneca. Good morning from San Pablo Local. Brother Nathan Natividad. Good morning from Concord, NWC. Sister Tess Acuna. Happy viewing from Merced, GWS, and the locale of Fresno. And we also have Brother Darwin Lee, who says, Happy birthday po to Karichi Watko. Happy birthday po, Karichi. Hope you have a great day as well po. And we have Brother Jiro. He says, Good AM po viewing from Sacramento, NEC. Shout out to all those in the locale of Salinas. Miss you all po. And let's see, we have a couple more. Brother Mark Cruz, greetings to everyone and happy Saturday. Watching from #Fremont. And then one more from Brother Darwin, who says, Thank you, panelists, for telling us about your career, especially to Sister Bianca, because my teenage daughter, Vivian, is highly interested in chemistry of skincare products. So thank you so much. It's a lot of excitement to kind of get our careers and our mindset going about all the opportunities that are really ahead of us. Brother Vince, any final thank yous?
I would like to say, yes, another Vivian. Okay, anyway. But thank you to all our listeners, guests, for tuning in to our show today. Although it was quite short, and there's probably going to be part 2 for this, because I would love a part 2 for this. This is actually very interesting. We would like to thank our listeners, the guests, for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. The support that you give to us is actually very, very inspiring. It actually helps us in the show a lot, especially when you comment. So thank you so much for commenting and viewing our show today. We'd also like to have special thanks to our executive producer, Brother Manuel Andaya, our station manager, Brother Arnel Solano, our multimedia advisor, Brother Andrew Paragas, our CFO overseer, Brother Rowell David, our assistant district minister, Brother Waywell De Rosario, our district minister, Brother Jojo Bayani, our SEB CCO and CFO coordinator, Brother Angelo Manalo, and our executive minister, Brother Eduardo B. Manalo. Thank you so much for making the show possible. And thank you to all our listeners again. Tune in next time to talk about our 55th anniversary of INCRadio as well. So that will be next week, same time, 10 a.m. on Saturday. And next up is INCRadio Texas. You may see me on that show too, just saying. So tune in. I'll see you guys again in the next show, INCRadio Texas.
See you next time. Bye, everyone. Okay, Attack, take it away.